What's up, my peoples? It's your boy Infinite Sage, and I'm back with another episode here to tell you about Street Fighter 6. Listen, a new beta for this game is right around the corner and everybody's losing their minds, so I would like to talk about my experience with this game when I first played it over at EVO 2022. I was able to get a few games in with my boy Geriatric over at the PlayStation booth the day that it was actually showcasing at the event. My first initial reactions on playing this game is almost the same as everybody else who has played this game already. This game is amazing. The combo system feels really solid, the characters are very smooth, the animation is pretty good right now, and the graphics and the art style is absolutely insane. I want to get into the overall stuff in a bit, but first I want to start on the individual characters. When I first started playing, I started off with Ryu. This character is really good, pretty solid, but he felt kind of clunky. Keep in mind that when I first started playing this character, he was always been a bit heavy, but he also felt well-rounded when I first started playing Ryu back in the old school days of Street Fighter 2. From the Street Fighter 2 series to the Alpha series, Ryu kind of felt like he was well-balanced, like he didn't feel like he was kind of heavy. That kind of started with Street Fighter Third Strike. By the time Third Strike came around, he felt a lot more bulkier and pretty heavy. But he packed a punch and he hit really hard. That kind of went away when I started playing Capcom vs SNK. He didn't feel as bulky anymore and he was a little bit more back to his old well-balanced roots. Now when you get to Street Fighter 4, then things got kind of bulkier again. He was a lot slower in my opinion, but again he started packing that crazy heavy punch. And then you move over to Street Fighter 5 and then he felt like he was more well balanced again. But now we're bringing him back to Street Fighter 6 and man does he feel really tankish. He's really big, he's really heavy, he packs a punch and he drops dudes easily with like a big super or a couple of hits that just do a ton of damage. But the balance with that, or the sacrifice for that, is that he's really clunky, he's kind of heavy, and he feels like he's kind of like a tank. So in this playthrough, I didn't get a lot of combos in, but I could already tell this character isn't going to be too combo heavy. Unlike his counterpart Ken, who's probably going to be doing a bunch of crazy mix-ups, a bunch of crazy combos, and a ton of damage that comes with that. Here's the thing. I'm not a character loyalist. I didn't have fun playing with Ryu back in the Third Strike days, and I ended up actually playing Ken a lot more in those days than I did in here. Judging by the stuff that I've played with on this character so far, I gotta say, I don't like him as much as I did with Street Fighter 5. Granted, I'm only going off based on my first initial playthrough with the character. Things will change, or they might change, depending on how much more I decide to play him and how further I go with coming up with new ways to actually play the character. Now, when I saw Ken for the first time through the trailers, I immediately fell in love. This character looks absolutely crazy. So I actually might go back to playing Ken or maining Ken just like I did in the Third Strike days. I personally have never been a character loyalist. I've only been interested in the characters that feel good to play and actually I adapt to very quickly. My character loyalty probably only goes as far as me seeing the character, thinking that he might be kind of cool to play, trying him out, and if he's fun, I'm all over it. And if not, no thanks. And if the character doesn't look like something that I would be interested in, I probably won't even try to play it, but if I do get a chance to play it and I end up liking it, then yeah, sure, I'll go ahead and try that character. In my personal opinion, I truly believe that that is the best way to approach a new fighting game if you're even new or a veteran at fighting games. Now, coming down to Jamie, oh my god, this character was a whole lot of fun to play and a ton of fun to watch. Geriatrics was showing me some fundamentals with the character and how he plays and what you're supposed to do in order to get the character to get some crazy fun stuff to go out. He doesn't have any projectiles, but apparently he doesn't need it. This whole character's style, attitude, personality, combos, and all of the crazy fun stuff that he was pulling out made me impressed almost immediately. I'm not sure if he'll end up being my main or a pocket, but I'll definitely give him a try as soon as I start playing the game. How he kind of works reminds me of G from Street Fighter 5. where you have to kind of power up all your levels in order to get some of the more crazy stuff that he can pull off later on in the match. But the best thing about him is the fact that the stuff that he drinks in order to power up, and essentially if he gets knocked down, he still gets to keep his power up move. This mechanic apparently works in stock, so instead of having to power up for about maybe 3 times, he needs about 4 to get to his maximum level. That's amazing to me, because when I was using G back in Street Fighter V, I was limited to actually having to use the power-ups only to have them go away if I get tripped and knocked down. But when this character drinks the power-up, it actually looks like he's doing it a lot faster than what G was able to do. So to me, this is actually really amazing, because I could essentially power up within a round crazy fast. And the power up is nuts. This character is a target combo kind of character. So once you start drinking and getting your drunk level all the way up to level 4, he becomes a beast when it comes to the target combos, and it looks absolutely insane. Now, here's the crazy part about Jamie. It's not the fact that he can power up to level 4 and then start doing crazy target combos. It's the fact that, unlike G, once he gets to his maximum level, you can still continue drinking, and it actually gives you benefits. So if you keep drinking, even at max level, the drinks actually continue to power up your drive gauge. Now that's kind of crazy, because the character himself is basically encouraging the player to consistently drink even after he's already reached his max level. Now, I don't know if that might be a good or bad thing, because it could kind of create bad habits, but if you're pretty solid at understanding and knowing when it's safe to drink, then you can really use this to your advantage even after you've already reached max level. So I ended up playing a little bit of Chun-Li during my time I was there, and she is apparently a stance character now. So I was kind of like, ugh. I personally have always had a problem with charge characters. I think the only charge character I really used was DJ back in the Super Turbo days. But now that she's not only a charge character, but also a stance character, really puts me off. Granted, I tried so hard to main Chun-Li back in the Street Fighter V days, and I had almost got to the point where I could have made her a solid pocket character, but there was a particular combo with the spinning bird kick that I just couldn't get to work for the life of me. And when it comes to specific combos on different characters, if you don't master a particular combo with characters, you've got to drop them. But that's my personal opinion, because at the end of the day, practice makes perfect. And if you have the time and the energy and the patience to continue practicing the same thing over and over again with a particular character, you'll eventually get better at it, hands down. But for me, I only want to spend that kind of time on characters that I can gradually get used to a lot earlier. Now, let's talk about the overall theme of this game. Absolutely incredible. They're bringing it back to the old school Street Fighter Third Strike days, where they had a lot of hip-hop flair and urban city style, and the music is really fitting that tone and that scenario with this particular platform. Now, I said this before and I'll say it again, I would like to see some representation of the people that they are using to promote this game. Now, we're kind of getting that with Kimberly, and she looks like a lot of fun to play, so we'll see where that takes us later on down the future with this game. Speaking about the future of this game, I gotta tell you right now, I'm probably gonna spend a lot, and I mean a lot of time in the Battle Hub. Now, let me tell you guys why I'm excited about the Battle Hub. You gotta understand, I come from a place of playing a lot of old school games, not necessarily The Sims, but I ended up playing a lot of Second Life, and I also ended up playing a lot of PlayStation Home back in the humble PS3 days. I'm hoping, and I'm crossing my fingers, but I really do hope that this will be my new place to be when it comes to getting back those PlayStation Home / Second Life vibes. When the new beta drops, I'm gonna tell you, everybody's gonna be in the Battle Hub. We're all gonna be waving, showing off our new kicks, buying gear and t-shirts at the shop, and just generally going around and just starting a community. I want to be able to go around and challenge other players at random, and also maybe just go to the arcade and play a couple of old school games that are just in the hub, because why not? Overall, I have really high hopes for the game. My expectations are really up there when it comes to the launch of this game, so I can't wait to play the beta. But here's the thing, this is something that we all know. When it comes to fighting games, Capcom's Street Fighter series has always set the bar for all fighting games across the board. Hands down. Each fighting game takes liberties from each other, and we've all noticed that throughout the entire series of fighting games, but when it comes to being the leader in that aspect, I will always say it's Street Fighter. So let's patiently wait and see what comes next with this beta. We're going to get a lot more playtests, we're going to get a lot more time playing with all the different characters, and we're going to see exactly what this game is really made of. Well, that's it for me, guys. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did get a chance to snatch up a beta code, which I know has been very rare, a lot of people haven't even gotten their emails back, but if you did get a chance to get your email and you did get a chance to actually download the beta, I will definitely see you online and we can go out there and have a blast. I'll see you guys later.